Okay, so with that, this is the second video lecture on the poultry production. So the first video lecture, I've talked about the different poultry species, their classification, as well as their characteristics and their economic importance. Now, um, we are going to talk about the fields in poultry production. So, when we say specialized fields in poultry production, more on like this specific management system or management production system that they do, which categorize them on specific fields. So, like for example, um, there's a different field for meat production. There is also a different field for table egg production, and then there is also a different field for breeder or breeding production. So basically, what are these fields in poultry production? That is what we are going to talk about on this video lecture. So first in the specialized fields in poultry production will be the breeding farm. So when we say breeding farm, the main goal of this farm is to produce high quality parent stocks. Ang ibig sabihin nito, this farm does not produce any meat or does not produce any eggs for consumption. So what it will do is produce fertilized eggs um, that are eventually subjected to incubation. So that will be the main goal of the breeding farm. And the main focus of this farm is to maintain um, the high quality, the high genetic quality for broiler or for layer production. So dito nanggagaling ah, yung mga um, breeds na pinapadami nila for broiler at saka for layer. Dito nanggagaling yung mga parent stocks. Ang ibig sabihin ng parent stocks, um, kumbaga sila yung magme-mate para makapag-produce ng chicks that are high quality that will eventually be sold or purchased by farms, by commercial farms. So, yun yung breeding farm natin. Yun yung focus nila. Hindi sila nagpo-focus sa pag-aalaga ng mga, uh, like for example, chickens for meat or for chickens for egg. Okay? So, ano yung advantage ng breeding farm? So, yung advantage ng breeding farm, there is high demand for quality breeding stock in the poultry industry. Siyempre, saan ka kukuha ba ng ng mga chicks, ng mga ducklings mo kundi doon sa mga breeder farms. Saan ka kukuha ng parents para makapagparami ka ng mga ducklings, ng mga chicks? Doon sa breeder farms. Okay? So, mataas palagi yung demand for this kasi nga walang pagkukuhanan ng mga day-old chicks, day-old ducklings yung mga commercial farms. Then, potentially higher profitability than commercial poultry farming due to premium pricing of breeder stock. So basically, mas mahal yung mga parent stocks or breeder stocks kasi nga they are of high quality. Doon mo kukunin yung mga anak nila, doon mo kukunin yung mga eventually ibebenta mo doon sa mga commercial farms. So, since maganda yung genes, maganda yung quality, they demand a higher price. So, kaya mas mataas yung profit, potentially mas mataas yung profit if management is properly, if the management practices is properly performed, then maganda yung profit. Then, long-term sustainability if genetic improvements are consistent. So, basically, um, all throughout yung ano mo, pag-manage mo, all throughout yung years mo na pagmamanage doon, if maganda yung management mo doon sa breeding farm mo, consistent palagi yung mga mapoproduce mo na mga um, parent stocks na magaganda yung quality, na magaganda yung mga genes. And then eventually, you can improve of these genes and then um, ide-develop mo ulit and then mai-improve ulit yung mga genes na to, ide-develop mo ulit, paparamihin mo ulit, i-improve mo ulit. So, merong sustainability. So, um, anong tawag nito? So, haan nga te short-term period lang yung business mo, kumbaga. Okay? So, merong long-term sustainability. Now, for the disadvantage, it requires high capital investment for genetics, biosecurity, and specialized housing. Basically, magkaiba, kung titignan doon dito sa picture, ibang-iba yung setting ng isang breeder farm compared doon sa broiler farm or layer farm. So, it requires high capital investment not only on the housing itself, but also on the stocks that you will manage doon sa mismong poultry species na ima-manage mo. Ang ibig sabihin niyan, kasi nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, the demand higher prices. Siyempre, yung pagbili mo dito sa mga aalagaan mong mga breeders, mas mahal din. So, mas higher yung capital investment mo, kumbaga. And then, same goes doon sa pag-invest mo sa biosecurity since you are looking, hindi ito yung all-in, all-out na short-term period lang na production. Kailangan mo talaga na mag-invest properly on biosecurities kasi once na merong sakit niyan, mahawa ang lahat. Mahal yung ano nito, mahal yung presyo nito. So, um, mataas yung risk kung magkasakit tong mga manok na to or yung mga breeder poultry, any poultry species that you are using as a breeder. Mataas yung risk kung magkasakit sila. So, malulugi ka. So, kailangan na you need to invest properly on the biosecurity part. So, with that, you need to be strict when it comes to the measures pertaining to biosecurity. Okay? In order to prevent disease transmission. And then, aside from that, another disadvantage is that it requires technical expertise in breeding, in selection, in artificial insemination, and hatchery management. Basically, you need a lot of knowledge and skills, technical knowledge, technical skills on breeding, on selecting, on AI, hatchery management. Doon sa broiler farm kasi, basta may sapat kang knowledge on proper management ng broiler, magiging successful na yon. Basta maganda yung pag-manage mo doon sa broiler, magiging successful na yon. Okay? Management practices lang. Dito sa breeding farm, aside from proper management practices, you need to have specific technical skills on breeding selection, mga ganon. So, kailangan talaga ng knowledge. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, if you are a beginner who wants to raise, like for example, chicken, ang this is not the field for you. Breeding farm is not a beginner-friendly na field sa poultry industry. Okay? Ito ay para sa mga um, investors, companies, um, raisers that have sufficient knowledge, sufficient skill, as well as high amount of money. Dagiti nababaknang kada ado amuna. Okay? Kung no awan amom, since nabaknang ka, ag-hire ka, iti technical, parang technical advisor mo, nga iso ti mang advice kanyang no ana ti obrahon. Ganon yung mangyayari sa breeding farm. Okay? So yun yung mga disadvantage. Now, ano yung mga factors to consider when it comes to breeding farm? First, again, is yung genetics and how do you select yung mga breeders mo. So, you need to choose yung mga breeds mo that are superior when it comes to its productivity, superior when it comes to its disease resistance, as well as its adaptability. So, ang ano nito, pumili ka based on data and based on your observation, yung mga breeds that are um, of high quality. And then, yung sinabi ko kanina, you need to manage uh, or you need to implement proper biosecurity by implementing strict hygiene measures in order to prevent disease outbreaks. Kung nagka-outbreak yan, tapos namatay, madaming namatay, mataas yung lugi mo kasi nga mataas yung presyo nitong mga to. Okay? And then, aside from that, you need also to consider the market demand and contracts. You need to secure buyers for the breeding stocks. Sino yung bibili nung product mo na breeder na parent stock or breeding stock? So yung mga bibili, yung mga hatcheries, mga integrators or yung mga farmers that are capable of buying itong mga breeding stock mo. Okay, hindi siya directly pupunta sa commercial farms. Hindi mo siya directly um, ibebenta doon sa mga commercial farms. Ibebenta mo sila sa mga hatcheries kung saan sila yung magpo-produce ng egg, ng fertilized egg, sila yung magpipisa, and then sila yung magbebenta doon sa commercial farms. Or ibebenta mo ito sa mga integrators. May mga integrators, usually ito yung mga companies na malalaki. Doon mo sila yung mag-aalaga, sila yung magpo-produce ng eggs, fertilized eggs, and then sila din yung magbibigay dun sa mga farmers nila, sa mga contract farmers nila, so dun sa mga buyers sa mga commercial farms. Okay? Then another one is you need to look into the investing into the infrastructure. So you need to have adequate housing, facilities for these, yung mga cages nila, specialized dapat. Kung titignan ito, ganito dapat. Lighting and feeding systems that are tailored for breeders talaga. Okay? So, those are your breeding farms. Again, yung key takeaway dito, um, potentially, mas madami kang profit, but at the same time, you need to invest a lot of money. You need to have technical knowledge and skills to become successful. Okay, so that's the breeding farm. Then for the egg layer farm, so as the name implies, it mainly focused on producing table egg. Okay, so emphasis. So we need to emphasize the word table egg. Ang ibig sabihin kasi ng table egg, these are unfertilized eggs that are usually for human consumption. Fit for human consumption. So, ang tawag sa mga poultries na nandito sa egg layer farm are yung mga layers. Layers yung tawag kasi nagle-lay sila ng itlog. Okay? Kaya layers. So, layers are often raised. Usually, kung titignan dito sa picture, they are often raised in cages under controlled environment in order to become productive. So, ganito. Kung titignan ito, quail, nakakulong sila sa cages. Ang ano kasi, one of the principle when it comes to egg laying or egg layer farm is that you need to limit the movement of the animals. Or kahit sa broiler farm, basta dapat malimit yung movement ng animal para mas madami yung nutrients na pupunta doon sa egg production, sa growth nila, compare doon sa pag-move nila. So, doon sa activity na gagawin nila if hindi sila nakakulong. Okay? And then another one, kung bakit naka-cage sila is to protect yung egg. Kasi nung nakakulong, handa nga nakakulong, agitlog dalatan, Tapos, mabalin mapadda-paddakan dagiti itlog So, as much as possible, when it comes to egg laying, uh, especially on a large scale setting, kailangan talagang naka-cage sila. Pero, it does not mean that it is not possible to raise chicken, to raise ducks for to produce egg for human consumption na hanya naka-cage. Mabalin na ta. Okay? Pero hindi mo yan magagawa on a large scale setting. Tsaka mo lang magagawa yan pag sa large scale setting, pag naka-cage na. Then, ano yung advantage ng egg layer farm? So, one of the advantage is that it's steady, there is a steady demand for eggs in the market. Kasi yung egg kasi, sinasabi na it is for human consumption, pero hindi lang naman directly na lulutuin mo yung egg at saka kakainin. Pwede rin na a lot of this or this egg can be processed to a lot of products that are used for um, like for example making cake, mga ganon. So hindi lang siya yung typical na boiled egg, scrambled egg, okay? Pwede rin gamitin ito sa iba pang um, sa paggawa ng iba pang mga pagkain. Then, they are more predictable cash flow compared to broiler farms. This is because it is a continuous production. If proper yung management mo, you can predict based on the egg production niya, on the egg production rate, kung ano yung profit mo all throughout the year. As long as your management is consistent. Okay? Mas predictable yung cash flow. And then it can utilize value-adding strategies. Ang ibig sabihin nito, um, again, hindi mo lang, you are not limited in selling yung egg mismo. So you can process this, like for example, you can process this into salted eggs, you can process this into balut, and other products coming from yung egg mismo. So you can utilize value-adding strategies para mas mahal yung benta mo. Okay, so yan. Ano naman yung disadvantage? So, one disadvantage of this is that there is a longer production cycle. Kasi nga, um, ano to, layer. So, kailangan na hintayin mo muna that their reproductive system is properly developed before you actually produce any profit, before you actually produce any eggs. Then, high feed costs as layers require balanced nutrition for continuous laying. Usually, um, kailangan talaga na ma-meet mo yung nutrient requirement ng mga layers in order for you to produce or in order for them to produce eggs in a consistent basis. Then, again, one of the disadvantage is disease outbreaks. So, just like sa breeder farm natin, kung nagkasakit yung mga layer farms natin, dikit-dikit din naman sila. Um, susceptible sila. Susceptible yung farm mo sa disease outbreak. So, maaari na ikalugi mo ito. So, as much as possible, you need proper um, biosecurity practices. You need to manage yung biosecurity mo properly in order for you to prevent any disease outbreak. Then, the factors to consider when it comes to egg layer farm, yung housing system, si iba din. So, you can choose between a cage, parang system, a deep litter system, or even a free-range system. So, depende dun sa level of knowledge mo, depende on the level of resources that you have, kung ano yung housing system na ipapatayo mo. And then, you need also to consider yung feeding and nutrition niya. You need to ensure layers receive high protein and calcium-rich diet in order to produce eggs consistently. And then, another important factor that you need to consider when it comes to egg laying or egg farm is layer farm is yung lighting management. Okay? Yung light kasi, it can affect yung egg production niya. So it can trigger yung brain to release specific hormones for egg production. So kung masyadong mababa yung exposure nila ng light, ng ilaw, either as anong source man yan ng light, basta dapat expose sila sa light uh, at around 14 to 16 hours. Kung mas mababa yan, bababa yung egg production nila. So you need to maintain around 14 to 16 hours of light daily in order to stimulate egg production. And then, another factor that you need to consider is yung market accessibility. So you need to identify distribution channels. So supermarkets, restaurants, yung mga direct consumers para meron kang pagbentahan ng mga eggs mo. So it is important that you consider this also kasi nga consistent uh, everyday, kumbaga, na nagpo-produce ka ng itlog. So kung wala kang pagbebentahan everyday din, kung wala kang pagbebentahan everyday nito, matetenga yung itlog mo. Okay? So, eventually, baka mo mailapon. So, as much as possible, you need to identify distribution channels. Hindi lang iisa, hindi lang dadalawa. Kailangan na madami kang pagbebentahan para consistent. Kasi itong mga mga consumers mo naman, hindi naman everyday yan, yung mga direct consumers. Kung ba, hindi naman everyday nabibili ng mga itlog yan. Okay? So, you need a lot of channels para mabenta mo, na pagbebentahan mo nitong mga eggs. Okay? So, yan. Then, when it comes to broiler farm naman, kung sa layer farm or sa egg laying farm, eggs, yung main, yung product, dito sa broiler farm naman, yung product is meat. Okay? So, this farm typically operates on a short production cycle. Ang ibig sabihin nito, um, hindi yan aabot, hindi tulad sa layers, sa breeder farms, na aabot ng taon. Itong broiler farm, yung per batch ng mga chickens natin or ducks or anumang poultry species na yan, once they reach their market weight, ibebenta mo na. And typically, since broiler poultry species have the characteristic of high growth rate, hindi yan tatagal ng isang taon. Like for example, sa chicken natin, as early as 21 days, pwede mo na siyang ibenta. Okay? It can reach market weight at that age. Wala pang 1 month, kumbaga, pwede mo nang ibenta. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng short production cycle. And then, pwede ka ulit bumili ng panibagong batch. Ganun. So, again, yung advantage nito, fast turnover and profit cycle. So, broiler chickens, like for example, reach market weight in 3 to 4 weeks. Yung mga ducks natin, it can reach around 2 months, pwede na. So, high demand due to chicken and other poultry meat being a staple protein source also. So, yun yung advantage. It is cheaper compared to other protein source, like for example, beef. Mas cheaper naman yung poultry meat natin, yung chicken meat natin compared doon sa beef natin. Okay, so as a protein source, like for example, yung mga nagji-gym, yung mga bodybuilders, usually yung um, choice nila ng protein is breast coming from mga chicken. Kasi nga, it is cheaper compared to the other protein source. And then, can be integrated with contract farming arrangement, reducing market risk. Ang ibig sabihin nito, uso kasi sa broiler farm yung contract grower, contract farming na tinatawag, wherein um, you can go into contract with integrators, with large companies. They will be the one to produce or they will be the one to supply you with feeds, with day-old chicks, with veterinary services, with medicines, and you will be the one to provide them with the housing, with the labor, with the technical skills. Okay? Parang ganun yung contract growing na ginagawa. So, yun yung advantage. Ang advantage kasi nito, if you are in a contract growing scheme, hindi ka naman wala ka ng problema kung saan mo ibebenta kasi yung bibili ng mga na-produce mo na broiler is yung mga yung mga integrators. Okay, yung mga companies kung saan ka nakipag-contract. Okay, so yan yung advantage. Then yung disadvantage, it requires large-scale production to achieve economies of scale. Ang ibig sabihin nito, yes, you can raise broiler on like for example 150 heads pero maliit lang yung kita nun. Okay? Maliit lang yung kita pag ganun. If you want to um, actually have a large profit, kailangan talaga na large scale, commercial farms talaga yung gagawin mo. Okay? Around 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 heads ng mga chickens dapat. Then, another disadvantage is that it has fluctuating prices. Okay, market prices and as well as production cost. Ang ibig sabihin nito, tataas, bababa. Ganun yung broiler farm. Okay? So, disadvantage ito kasi you cannot predict kung ano talaga yung price niya. Like for example, a month after, 2 months after na nag-start ka ng production. So, disadvantage again kasi nawili ka, like for example, nawili ka ngayon, ay kahit kumanagalaga, iti broilers kasi nangina ti manok tata. Tapos, idi sikat ti agilakon, bigla bimaba, nag-fluctuate yung price. So, malulugi ka, kumbaga. Okay, so yan. And then, same goes doon sa inputs. Baka na-enganyo ka nga agalaga kasi nalakalang ti feeds tata. Ngem idi agi start ka mo dun, biglang yung mina. Mga ganun na. So, yan. Then, they are susceptible, again, just like with the layers and breeder farms, they are susceptible to disease outbreaks. Okay? So, yan yung main disadvantage talaga ng poultry farming, regardless of the field. Then, when it comes to the factors to consider, first is housing and ventilation. So, you need to ensure a controlled environment with good airflow. Kaya nga may mga tunnel ventilation na tinatawag. Ang ano kasi nito, pag tunnel ventilation, kung walang airflow yan, magbi-build up yung ammonia doon sa loob and then mag-increase din yung temperature. This can lead to death ng mga animals natin. So as much as possible, you need to have proper ventilation. And then stocking density. So you need to avoid overcrowding to prevent stress and disease. So you need to follow pa rin yung recommended space allowance, space requirement for chicks natin. So like for example, ilang 1 meter square for this amount of broilers, mga ganun. And then um, you need to consider again yung biosecurity nila. So you need to limit farm access, you need to sanitize equipment, and implement vaccination program. Kailangan yan. And then, just like that of the layer farm, you need to look for um, like for example mga partnership. You need to look for partnerships with processors kasi pwede mong ibenta directly to them. Sila yung magpo-process ng mga chickens or pwede rin doon sa mga wet markets or retailers para may stable supply, may stable sales ka pa rin, no, ng mga broilers. Okay? So, ganon. Kailangan din maghanap ng mga partners para doon mo ibebenta yung mga produce mo. Okay? So, yan yung broiler farm and ito yung mga characteristics nila. Okay? Okay, so for the various support services natin, Hindi lang naman yung three main fields, yung breeder farm, layer farm, at saka yung broiler farm, yung involved when it comes to the poultry industry. So, kailangan din nila ng mga industries that supports their function, which is to take care of the poultry species, to take care of the birds, in order for them to become productive and in order for them to um, produce yung intended product nila. So, kailangan nila nitong mga industries na to para basically mabuhay yung mga animals. So, yung una, there are various support services in the poultry industry that plays and are integral part on the overall operation of the layer, broiler, and breeding farm. So, again, these support services provides the input. So, kumbaga, yung mga feeds, yung mga medicine, sila yung gumagawa in order for the poultry species to become productive. So, first is the feed industry. So, yung pag-produce kasi ng feeds, it involves formulating as well as manufacturing, creating high quality, highly nutritious, balanced feeds that meet yung nutritional requirement ng mga poultry species natin at the different growth stages. So, kailangan ng field that kailangan ng parang um, industry that can actually do this function. So, yun yung feed industry natin. Sila yung nag-create ng mga commercial feeds natin na pinapakain natin doon sa mga broilers, layers, or breeders natin. So, ang ginagawa nila, they process yung mga raw materials such as corn, soybean, fish meal, vitamins, and minerals in order to produce feed types that are specifically formulated for the different phases or stages ng poultry species, like for example sa starter, grower, finisher, and four layers. So, ang tawag doon sa mga yung nasa picture na to, this is the feed mills. So, sila yung nag-ensure that there is a consistent supply and quality na feeds for poultry diets. So, kung wala itong feed industry na to, then wala. So, walang input, walang feeds na pwedeng ipakain doon sa animal. So, paano magiging productive yung bird kung wala kang ipapakain na highly nutritious na feed? Okay, so yun yung importance ni feed industry. Then aside from that, we also have yung veterinary and biosecurity services. Basically, it is an industry that focuses on disease prevention, diagnosis, and then the treatment to maintain flock health and productivity. So, yan naman yung ginagawa ni vet and biosecurity services. So, um, ang ginagawa nila ng industry na to is basically they are composed of veterinary professionals that provides yung vaccination program, provides medication, health management strategies, as well as they can also be considered as experts when it comes to biosecurity. And they are the ones that will be contacted when it comes to implementing biosecurity measures, um, as well as yung mga um, medical, like for example, medical emergencies, disease outbreaks, mga ganun. So, sila yung expert doon sa pag-disinfect, yung mga protocols when it comes to disinfection, yung mga paano yung controlled farm access as well as pest control. So, sila yung tatawagin, kumbaga. Then, for these services also helps prevent the spread of poultry diseases like avian influenza, Newcastle disease, and coccidiosis. So, they are also an integral part also an important part of the um, poultry industry. Then you have the poultry equipment and infrastructure supply. So this sector provides essential equipment for modern poultry farming, including incubators, brooders, automatic feeders, drinkers, ventilation system, and climate-controlled housing. Ang ibig sabihin nito, itong industry naman na ito, sila yung gumagawa ng mga equipment na ginagamit doon sa poultry farm. So, yung mga drinkers, yung mga brooders, incubators, sila yung gumagawa. So, again, they are also an integral part ng poultry industry. Kasi kung wala ito, paano mo i-manage properly yung mga birds? So, proper infrastructure kasi and equipment contributes to efficient farm operation. So, it also ensures na maganda yung growth and productivity ng mga animals. So, suppliers may also offer yung pag-install, pag-maintain, and yung mga technical support services. So, sila din yung nag-o-offer ng mga services na yon. Then aside from that, you also have poultry processing and marketing. So this involves slaughtering, dressing, packaging, and distributing poultry meat and egg products. So processing plants adhere to food safety standards, ensuring hygiene and product quality. Ang ibig sabihin nito, they are the ones that will process yung mga products. Sila yung mag-slaughter ng mga meat, sila yung mag-slaughter ng mga chicken, um, magpa-process ng mga products. So, this includes yung pag-value add doon sa mga products natin. And then when it comes to marketing naman, focuses mainly on product branding, distribution strategies, and connecting poultry producers to local and international markets. So, kung wala itong mga processing facilities na to and marketing facilities na to, then wala din. Okay? Saan mo ibebentas? Paano mo ipa-process yung mga products mo kung wala itong mga to? Then lastly will be the research and development. So basically, they are the one that improves yung poultry genetics, improve yung nutrition, disease resistance, and overall production efficiency. So, ito naman, ito yung mga research institutions as well as mga private companies na yung focus naman is yung sa pag-conduct ng mga studies sa breeding, sa pag-develop ng mga vaccines, sa pag-formulate ng feed, as well as sustainable farming practices. So, sila yung gumagawa nun. So, important sila because yung pag-advance doon sa biotechnology, pag-advance sa smart agriculture or automation and data analytics also plays an important role doon sa farm, doon sa production system doon sa farm. Kung wala itong mga to, um, hindi mo male-level up kumbaga yung production mo. So if you want to modernize, then you need the products or the studies or the data that was produced dito sa mga research and development, specifically on poultry production. So, yon yung mga various support services um, that is important doon sa poultry production. Again, kung wala itong mga to, walang uh, walang layer farm, walang broiler farm, walang breeder farm. So, with that, that ends yung discussion on the second topic on the specialized fields of poultry production. So, I will be uploading it again and then you need to watch it kasi may quiz next week. So, yun. Thank you for listening.